Start it up. You hear anything?
Welcome to a disappointing episode of the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. Well, game 7 it is. I'm putting this game on Doc Rivers. The minute I seen that Boston, here we go with the background noise. The minute I seen that Boston had switched their lineup and Doc Rivers continued to keep PJ Tucker in there in that line, he was useless against that lineup. He's not going to get rebounds against the double big lineup, and he's scared to shoot. He should not have been in that lineup. And Doc Rivers better come out and make some changes. And also, Tobias Harris get called in the account out there bricking 1 for 7, shooting scared. Hardin was off. I will give Bede this. They was doubling down on him because you got PJ Tucker in the freaking game, and he's useless against a double big lineup. But I'm putting this game on Doc. This game is on Doc, in my opinion. Go ahead.
I agree with some people in the comment section. Somebody, I think it was Sergeant Bass or shooting guard Bass. He said, I don't know what to say. He's speechless. I more than anything, I agree with Jalen Rose. Right before I logged on, I heard Jalen Rose say this falls on Bede at the end. You gotta give it to your MVP in the middle. I only remember Bede taking like 2 or 3 shots. We went 4 for 19 in the fourth quarter. I only remember Joel Embiid. I gotta look at the stats. I only remember him within the last 5 minutes taking like 2 shots. Maxey was jacking up threes. Good looks, but they was missing. But my thing is, at a certain point, at a certain throws of the game, your MVP needs to be taking the bulk of the shots. The offense needs to run through Joel Embiid. That irritated me that I didn't see him shooting the ball more at the end. I know. Like, again, Maxey got a good look. PJ got a good look. Hardin forced a couple shots in the last seconds of the shot clock. But Joel Embiid has to shoot that ball. And then all of a sudden, this game was on me. I actually blame myself. I said, we was texting, right? Ethan, Wayne, everybody on the text board. I said they put the camera on Tatum. And Tatum looked like he's about to cry. He was 1 for 14. And I said the crucial words. I said, I actually feel bad for Tatum a little bit. Then this dude goes out and hits 4 straight 3-pointers.
It's your fault.
I said that.
It's your fault.
I jinxed us. And as soon as I said it, I said, you know what? I shouldn't have said that yet. And Wayne said, right after I said that, Wayne said, maybe later. Maybe later was the words Wayne said. And he was right. Because this dude then goes out, hits 3 or 4 straight threes. And that was, honestly, that was the game. When he did that, that's what opened up separation. We couldn't hit. We hadn't been hitting. And that was the game right there. I'm so irritated.
Hey, Bernard McCoy on the super chat. Good looking out, man. He said, somebody on this pod won't blame Max. He's just 22 years old, the best choice. I'm not blaming Max.
I'm not blaming Max.
I'm blaming Hardin and Doc Rivers. It's a lot of blame to go around. B, too, for not. I want B to demand the ball more down there in the low and get his points like he did last game. But I'm going to tell you why I'm going to blame
MOTC, he needs to demand the ball like Ethan said. Demand the ball. You're the MVP. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Hardin looked terrible. Hardin looked all a bit 38. I'm going to tell you why I'm going to blame Doc Rivers, Hardin, Toby, all them dudes, because when you see somebody's hot, the coach's job is to have a feel the game and to see who you need. You don't just automatically go to your starters at the end because they're your starters.
I agree.
That's not what you do. Niang was actually hot this game. Niang played very well this game.
Yep.
He was the only one that was hitting threes. He was 2 for 3 from the 3-point line. He could have been in that PJ spot when Hardin, for some reason, kept forcing the ball to PJ to take 3-pointers. He was off. He was 2 for 7. Why is he even in that position?
That's Wayne, man. Wayne was talking about how hype PJ was.
These dudes hype PJ up the whole.
First of all,
we need PJ. PJ this. PJ that.
Stop the cap. I said he should be coming off the bench. Don't use my name then.
Let me get my thing off.
I'll be back.
Don't address
me.
You gotta have a feeling for the game and who's playing well at that point. Even House played well though, but Niang was playing well. He was playing defense. He wasn't being all handsy, and he was hitting his threes. If he's playing well, keep him in the game. There's no reason to reinsert PJ Tucker in the game.
I agree.
PJ's less minutes at 20. Come on, now we need buckets. We need shots. Yeah, we need stops, but we need to score. who you struggling scoring the entire game.
And
I told y'all Doc's gonna cause us the game. I told y'all this before. I told y'all. Listen to me. We losing in 7. I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell you why we losing 7. We're not good enough to let games like this slip out our hands. We're not good enough.
We did it before and we won. So
you think you're gonna win 3 in Boston? You out
right.
to rabbit mind.
Why not?
Guess what? It's gonna come back around to you for real.
Yeah.
We stunk. We stunk the whole game, and we kind of deserve to lose this game because we didn't take care of business the first 3 quarters.
We actually played well.
First 3 quarters, we didn't play well. We really didn't play well. We got down big.
He was down 16. We didn't play well.
We played well for a team that was desperate. That's the hardest game to close out. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then the boy Melton, Doc New Melton has been struggling the last couple of games. He should have been on a short leash. He gave him 24 points, and he literally could have put us up by 5 at one point, at 4 at one point. He had opportunities, and he kept missing. I mean, he was 0 for 5. At some point, you just got to be like, you know what? Right now, you just need some rest. Because I believe with Melton, I noticed that when he gets a lot of rest, he plays a lot better. But ever since that first game where he went out, lights out, he's been struggling. So I was like, it's the little things that you got to do. I mean, they made good adjustments. I do think starting the big lineup, that was a good adjustment. Now, the thing is, how are we going to react? The ball's in Doc's court right now. Maxey ball. I got to give Maxey his props. He struggled down the stretch, and I agree with everybody. They were saying that B should have demanded the ball. But this is a tough loss, man. It really is.
Listen, my thing is the reason why I said we didn't. But the hardest game to close out that they say in sports is the hardest game to win is the closeout game. Boston is desperate. They scratching and clawing for everything. I knew they was going to go on runs. They playing emotional. Their life is on the line. The basketball life is on the line. We weathered the several storms they threw at us, came back, took the lead, was up in the most crucial part of the game, midway in the fourth quarter. We up late into the fourth quarter. All of a sudden, Doc, like Ethan said, enters Wayne Man PJ all day. Wayne was telling me how this emotional energy PJ bringing to the team has catapulted us to this next level of playoff stardom. All this, he and B air, he hyper beat up. Yeah, B, you the man. You do this, I can't guard you. They gonna guard you. They can't stop you because I can't stop you. And
also said he could do it off the bench. I also stop bringing up my name unless you're going to tell the whole thing. I said he could do it off the bench. I did not say he should be starting. And so say it right.
I told you, forget doing off the bench. He needs never to come off the bench. You talking about bring him in spurts. I said bring him in. Don't bring him in at all. He should be Udonis Haslett. He should be Andre Iguodala, where they hardly never see him. You may bring him in if an injury happens or it's a blowout. PJ shouldn't be in the game. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why he don't have to be a player coach. Y'all want this boy PJ in the game because he brings some kind of emotional integrity, some toughness and all this. You could do that Udonis Haslett style. You kept PJ in this game and it hurt us outside of the fact that they did not force the ball to your MVP late in that fourth quarter. You got to force the ball. I don't care how many people's on him. You force the ball to Joel Embiid and let the offense run through him. If he kicks it out, it's going to be an open shot to Niang, who should be in the game, Maxey or Hardin. That's why we lost this game.
And I agree because we got PJ Tucker played 20 minutes and was too much. Like I said, as soon as they came up with that starting lineup, PJ Tucker should not have been in that lineup.
PJ playing 1 minute is too much.
I hear you. You keep saying that, but PJ Tucker did get the rebound putback that got us in the other game. So without that, we ain't in that game either. So
you're the only person to get an offensive rebound in the NBA.
Evidently, he did it that game. Who else did it?
Please.
Who else did it?
Why you like
so
that?
All I'm saying is,
10 a game.
All I'm saying is, to me, I don't
like that timeout.
PJ,
I mean that challenge. I think the challenge was successful, wasn't it?
We not blaming PJ, but PJ doesn't help you on the court. It's always PJ. What PJ
my
do?
Point is, I agree, and that's my point. And that's my
Toby
point.
Was terrible too.
And that's my point.
We're gonna get on him tonight.
Oh, we are gonna get on, but Toby at least played defense. Toby didn't get like 2 steals and got him stops, but he blew them layups again. He cannot blow these layups. He cannot not blow these open shots. So I agree. Toby stunk it up offensively again. But he was the guy guarding. He was the guy guarding Tatum, and for whatever reason down the stretch, he wasn't on Tatum. They allowed them to do the switches and get other people on Tatum. Toby played the best defense of the team on Tatum.
Toby had 2 points tonight.
I agree with you. I agree, but he at least played defense. PJ did nothing. PJ was scared to death to shoot. He almost caused a turnover when Hardin threw him a wide open three, and then he came and dribbled threw Hardin the pass through his legs. PJ should not have been in that game. And I blame Doc. When you saw them doing that lineup, you knew that they was going to bring the two bigs to drop down on Embiid and leave open. And all Doc kept saying, we got to trust the teammates. We got to make the pass to trust the teammates. I'm not trusting them. Don't trust him. Take him out the game.
Listen,
we getting to everybody, y'all. Everybody gonna get their just due.
Everybody gonna get that work. Don't worry.
He's saying we arguing over PJ. Role players win and lose championships. Role players. Why do you think LA is up on Golden State right now? They role play. That bull came in. We talked about the other day. Lonnie Walker came in and licked Golden State on 15 points. Role players win games and championships. Reason why Golden State, outside of Steph Curry, obviously won a championship last year. Jordan Poole played lights out in the playoffs last year. A role player. This is what you need. You need, and this is why I'm so adamant about PJ Tucker having a better role player in that position. PJ Tucker is he literally causes, he worse than Ben Simmons. He causes B to get so much attention because nobody trusts or believes in anything he's going to do offensively. So his man wanders about. Like his man just wanders about sticking anybody who needs to be defended because he can't. He don't even attempt really to shoot. I was surprised that one basket, I think it was in the third or maybe early in the fourth quarter, he actually got a wide open layup because nobody believes that he's going to try anything. That hurts your team offensively when you have a dude who nobody trusts to score or even thinks is going to score, and then they shift defense toward Maxey, they shift defense toward Embiid especially, and they also shift defense toward Hardin. It's terrible. It's terrible. And Doc continues to leave him in the game.
Game should have been over. Game should have been over, man.
It should have been over, and that's what irritates me the most. And like I was talking to my man Rich White, he might be on the show, and he said the same thing we all been saying. Whoever wins this series is going to the finals, and whoever wins this series probably may have a very good shot at winning the finals. I don't think nobody can handle either Boston or the Sixers right now, especially us.
And what was hard? What was hard? Did Hardin go to the club again last night? Like what is up? He had a terrible game today. He was 0 for 6. He was a turnover machine. He had 5 turnovers. He looked like he didn't know what to do with the ball again once he got in the lane. It was like a repeat of the other night. I can't believe it wasn't
as bad as the other night. It wasn't as bad as the other night. He was just missing. He was missing shots tonight. He was just missing shots.
And he turned the ball over. He had 5 turnovers.
They've been playing every day, every other day since last Monday.
So has Boston.
Higher.
So is Boston.
But I'm not saying.
So has Boston. I'm not trying to hear that.
They're younger than. They're way younger.
I will put the Sixers on the plane tonight and get the ball. Leave tonight.
They got 3 games. They got 3 days off. They don't play again until Sunday. I'm hoping we can go there and upset them again.
It ain't gonna matter if Doc don't make adjustments. Doc cannot have, if they start that lineup, Doc cannot have PJ Tucker starting against that lineup because he's useless. I don't care. He hit the first 3 and then after that, everything he do, pump fake, look the pass. Like. Get him out the game. He can't get any rebounds. You got 2 tall, a 6'10" and 7-footer or whatever Williams is. You got 2 dudes that's 6'10" plus down there. What is PJ Tucker going to do down there as a power forward? He's useless in that position.
I agree.
But you can't have 2 useless balls down there. That's the thing. You can't have 2. It's one thing to have 1 useless ball on your team as a starter, but Tobias Harris to give you 2 points, a -10, and they're going to say,
I agree. But he played defense. Who did PJ Tucker defend?
Jaylen Brown played defense, still gave him 17 points.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown is better than Tobias Harris.
You can still, Jaylen Brown probably can average 35, 40 points, but because he's sticking Hardin and being a 2-way player, he's clamping down defensively with Hardin, making everything hard for Hardin, but he still gave him 17 points.
So if you have to bench a starter, if you have a bench a starter, which one you benching?
We got 2 points.
So if you want to bench a starter, which one are you benching? I agree. I agree 2 points is useless, but I agree 2 points is the rim.
I'm benching PJ.
But that's my point. You're not going to bench both of them. PJ Tucker cannot be a starter against the lineup.
How does that stop but benching PJ, how does that still? How's it stopping Tobias from not scoring?
I don't.
You keep saying about him not scoring. He was shutting Tatum down. What are you looking at?
Score two,
and neither did Tatum. Him and Tatum was both 1 for 7, and then Tatum just kept shooting. But I'm not excusing Tobias Harris. I agree with you.
He has to make a 7-point game, a 9-point game, and a 2-point game.
I agree with you.
He is the weakest link.
He's not. PJ
He's
is
the weakest link on his team.
PJ Tucker is the weakest link.
No.
Hey,
Let's get
Lisa Brown.
Tobias is the weak link, but PJ Tucker is the weakest link.
He is. Lisa Brown.
Lisa just been a max contract. He was 18. He's been able to since 2019.
Hold on,
Tim, we know who the weakest link is. Y'all arguing a point that y'all argued already. We already know.
Oh, really?
Yes, PJ's the weakest link.
We argue how many points we are.
PJ's the weakest link. We already know that. He's the weakest link.
Tobias got to step up.
And Toby is 1 and 1A. PJ's 1, Toby's 1A. That's what it is. You argue the point that everybody knows.
PJ gave us 8 points.
Lisa Brown, for one, you're a Miami fan, and if we win, I'm telling you right now, we're gonna light y'all up. You better hope we gonna light Miami up. That's if y'all get past the Knicks. That's one thing. Y'all still got business to take care of. For two, somebody else said in the comment section, my man Rich just texted me, said the same thing. Hardin probably will be a better version with the 2 days off. We got our next game. You said that? Okay. All right. You said that too. Somebody else, I think you read somebody said that in the comments.
No, because when I made my comment, Wayne was like, no excuse.
But we'll see. He should be better. He should be better. But tonight, Tometo, you don't want to rest on trying to have a good game 7. This was your game. We should have won this game so Hardin could have rested for about 4 days. If we knock this game off tonight. We played around. Boston, we had Boston on the ropes. I could tell they was falling apart, and we fell apart for them and breathed life back into Boston. Tatum looked dejected. He looked shell-shocked. We did not hit the shots that we needed to hit to end this game. This game should have been over. This should have been a celebration. We should have been talking about how great Maxi's game was. He played offense, defense. Maxi was everywhere. He was leaping out the building, blocking shots off the backboard, all kind of stuff. He played incredible tonight. Outside of the struggling down the stretch with 3. But other than that, Maxi played incredible. This should have been a celebration of him being next up as the second best player in the team behind Joel.
He tried.
But instead, he talking about how we collapsed late in the game.
My problem is like
this
5-6 minutes during the game when it was going back, we was up 4, we was up 2. Like we was running no plays. It was like dribble, trying to find something to do and try to figure stuff out. I'm like, why aren't we running plays? There's no design. It was like we shot like 3 or 4 threes in that stretch. That was just bad threes. That when the time was running down, when you had time to run a play. This is what I mean about Doc coaching. Like he didn't figure nothing out. He never adjusted since they changed their starting rotation. You knew they would change the starting lineup. We was down by 10 for that, and you couldn't figure out the adjustment. You couldn't figure out what to do. I want to show up. I feel like running to the board like Kenny because I want to show up.
Tatum outscored our team in the fourth quarter. That's ridiculous.
The plays was terrible. There was no play design. It was no plays.
Yep.
It was nothing. It was crazy. For Tim to not recognize
that remains to be seen. Tim, post a super chat. That remains to be seen. Sexy scenarios about Hardin being able to handle that pressure. Game 7 with a chance to go to has Hardin as a starter ever been to the conference finals outside of the OKC years? I'm trying to remember.
Didn't you wasn't he against Golden State in Game 7? That wasn't a conference finals.
Was that a conference
when CP3 got hurt? And they shot they missed 27 3-pointers in like the fourth quarter.
I think they played. Remember we looked at the stats. I think they played San Antonio at Golden State played San Antonio.
Oh, did they? Okay.
I think
I can't blame totally the reason why I don't put as much.
Give a shout to Main Money first, and then do your thing.
We already read this. We said for Tim not to recognize PJ as the problem makes no sense up until the end. Tatum was scoreless. Who was PJ man? All right, here's the thing.
PJ man was Brown.
Money.
Tobias Harris played 42 minutes. PJ Tucker played 20 minutes. So in 42 minutes, he nearly played the entire game, and he gave me 2 points.
That's true.
So Doc,
that's bad. That's bad.
It's not like Doc kept PJ Tucker in the game the whole time. He limited his minutes in this game.
So you know what's funny about PJ Tucker, though? You know what's funny? We went down 16, and when PJ went to the bench, miraculously, we came back. Go figure.
Go. You just spitting out your mouth.
No, I'm not. No, No, I'm not. They ran that big line up there and was about to run us out the gym, and then Doc made a switch and was taking PJ out. And when he took PJ out, they took out, I think, Williams or one of the bigs, and we made a run and came back in the game.
The only run we made, we never got past 5 points.
That's how we got back in the game. We was getting stomped with PJ starting.
Post Kev Scott comment. Kev Scott, good looking for the Super J. He said, I told y'all a couple weeks ago, Toby is our Harrison Barnes and Hardin be playing like it's preseason or something, no intensity. Yeah, I don't like. I mean, the announcer brought it up a couple minutes left in the game. Toby and Embiid dragging up the court. They felt like it was over. They was ready to go on for Game 7. It wasn't good tonight. It wasn't good on anybody tonight. Not your superstar looking like that. I want to be. B should have had 35-40 tonight. Be honest with you. Doc,
you're gonna get it on
Doc, bad rotations, bad adjustments. You know, else play bad too. I want to blame the role players because almost all our role players played bad except George Niang. Paul Reed played bad tonight too, man. Paul Reed actually.
It's a bad matchup for him.
But he doesn't get a chance to correct.
Yes, he does.
No, he don't.
As soon as he in there, he can't stop nothing. As soon as he goes in the paint,
game, you're not getting a chance to.
As soon as he gets in the paint, they attack him, and that's why Embiid has to come back in.
They go at him.
And I like Paul Reed. That's my guy. But as soon as he comes in the game, they attack him. And listen, I'm not giving Toby a pass. Toby stunk offensively. But if you're telling me that Toby wasn't playing defense on Tatum, he stunk offensively. But he was the main one guarding Tatum the whole first half.
Own head. It wasn't like he was shutting down Tatum like that.
Okay, you keep saying that, but the stats say when Tobias is guarding Tatum shoots his worst. Look at the stats. Look at the stats for the series. Since y'all like to look at the stats say that when Tobias guards Tatum, he plays his worst. That being said, Tobias got to make freaking layups.
Hold on, Wayne. I know you love Toby.
He got to make layups.
Hold on.
What did PJ do? What did PJ do?
I don't like overrating the defense when you got Embiid behind you. You know what I mean? Because once everything funneled, B changes a lot at that rim, and we understand that because when he comes out, it's like the freeway to the basketball court. And when B in there, B changes everything.
But however, when other guys guard him, they're not as successful.
He played bad the whole game, no matter who was on him until he hit them a couple threes.
No, I kind of agree. I gotta agree with Wayne and Mac for a better tomorrow. He said Tatum only went off when Max was guarding him. I agree. Toby actually did do a great job defensively on the ball. Tatum. And this is where I agree with Wayne. At a certain point, yes, Toby only had 2 points. Toby was 1 for 7 offensively from trash. But at a certain point, you got to play somebody. Like Ethan made a good point earlier. You should have swapped PJ for Niang. Niang actually playing very good defense. He was hustling, he was scrappy, and he was
hitting shots.
And he's hitting the shots. So you should have swapped PJ for Niang because my thing is, no matter how bad Toby is playing, he's still a threat to score offensively. Toby could be 0 for 10 like Tatum. Tatum was 1 for 14. I'm not saying he's on Tatum level. Tatum is always a threat to score. Toby is still a threat to score. PJ is not. This is why I'm coming so mad at PJ and I'm so mad at Doc keeping him in the game because nobody even thinks he's going to even attempt to score the basketball.
He played 20 minutes. It's not like he kept on the game all game.
Because the minutes he played was useless. He played exactly.
Minutes. How many minutes he played in the fourth quarter? Go look at that stat, King. How many minutes he played between 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter down to the very last second? How many minutes was Toby in the game? And that's when we lost the game. We lost the game at that point in the fourth quarter to not Toby. PJ Tucker was in the game and he was useless offensively.
Yep.
But everybody loved his emotion. He's so hyped. He rah-rah. He in Bulls' ears. He's telling Bulls,
He yelling at B like, "Come on, B, we gonna do it, B. Let's go, B on B here. Like, get out of here, man. Nobody don't care about that."
Listen. When as soon as PJ comes into the game and they got that 2-man big lineup, they both go down there and flop down on B. Hardin specifically kicking it out to PJ. PJ missed the one wide open, then he gets it back. Bro, the way he panicked and tried to throw it to Hardin, almost threw a turnover through Hardin legs. Like, get him out the game.
Listen, X-Man. Okay, this is what I mean. Maybe I talk this through to y'all very slow. Toby at one point averaged 20 points in his career. He averaged this year 15. Last year, I think he averaged like 17. How many points does PJ Tucker average? Did PJ Tucker even average over 5 points this year? I think he averaged like 3. PJ is not a threat to score at all. I'm not saying that Toby is some Jordan or Toby is even Tatum. All I'm saying is when Toby spots up at the 3, anywhere on the court, not just some corner 3 that PJ loves, his little corner 3 he loves that he don't take as much as he should. Toby can shoot from anywhere in the perimeter. He can shoot a mid-range and he can shoot a 3. So when he has the ball, the defense has to come out to respect it. When PJ has the ball, nobody comes nowhere. Nobody cares. Matter of fact, PJ don't look at the rim. He don't even look at the rim.
Hey, Ephraim, listen, did you see the play when he had it at the 3 and he pump fake and pass fake and ain't nobody still ain't jump to him and then he was like, I guess I better shoot it. Bro, you got to get him out.
Nobody cares. Nobody
Melton did have a terrible game.
Melton did.
You know what I don't like when Melton do some. It's like Melton to have a beat to
House
the lane,
did too. House had a bad game
but then he'll stop. Melton to stop and like kick it to like no the role players on his team really like Melton and nobody else. Are we telling them they can't drive to the lane? All you got to do is sit back and shoot a 3, because these dudes. You'll see Melton have a little beat to lane. He'll stop and he'll be, so they think too much. They think way too much. They really don't. I don't know. And this is why I like what House did, because when you notice House last game, House was just instinctual. House was real instinctual. He took a couple runs to the lane where you just think, hold on, do you really want to do that fast break? He like 2-on-1 going to the lane, laying the ball up, stuff you wouldn't see from dudes that Doc play regularly. I'm telling you.
See, new sniper. This is where I agree with a lot of that, but you do want your players thinking a little bit. But I know what you're saying about reactionary. You do want your players more reactionary than anything. But noob sniper. He said, "Why are we talking about PJ? He ain't here for his scoring ability." See, this is this is a new NBA, bro. This ain't the 80s and the 70s. Everybody on the floor needs to be able to score if you want to have a championship team. Name me a championship team where you legitimately can say that I have a dude on the floor who pretty much can't score at all. I mean,
Draymond at least will shoot it.
That's what I'm saying. Draymond, Kevon Looney, these dudes ain't there to score. They could give you 10, 12, 15 points. Draymond gave you 20 points the other night. Now that's a rarity. But at certain points he can. PJ will never be able to do that, bro.
And listen,
what's wrong with that?
I'm not blaming.
He's not in there for 40 minutes a game, though. He played half the minutes that the starters played.
I'm not blaming PJ for the loss. I'm blaming Doc. No, I'm blaming Doc for not making the adjustments when he saw that PJ was useless against that lineup. That's what I'm blaming. PJ does what PJ does. But when you see they're putting in 2 tall players, you can't put a 6'5" power forward in there thinking that a 6'5" power forward that's not going to shoot the open 3 and he can't get down there and get rebounds. It was a useless position at that point. I'm blaming Doc.
Listen,
hold on. Y'all
blaming
blaming Doc like he played him a whole lot, and he didn't.
Let me just address this.
Who he played a whole lot is Tobias Harris. Let me get my point out. He played,
because you're saying
I listen to you. Just let me get this out. Tobias Harris stinks. Y'all know he stinks.
We know that's just talking point.
Out there. If anything else, he's slowing down Tatum. Tatum did the same thing last year in the playoffs. He did the exact same thing. Tobias wasn't playing him in the finals. That's Tatum. He stinks. Who
was your starting lineup 5 minutes into the fourth quarter? Who was in the game?
I don't know.
PJ.
Okay, no, because this you want to argue a point. This is the point I'm making. Y'all keep saying he was in 20 minutes. I don't care if he was only in 5. He was in the most crucial 5 minutes of the game.
And we got down like 16 points.
This is the point
in the beginning of the game. In the beginning and the end.
Minutes. He was in the most crucial point of the game, and he offered you nothing offensively when you needed some type of spark offensively. It was 2 things that happened, in my opinion, in that closing part of the game. It was PJ being in the game, and they did not funnel the offense through Joel Embiid. He's your MVP. He's your best offensive weapon. You have to funnel the ball through him at that point. So y'all want to say I'm crazy for bringing up PJ, who's in the game at a point in time where he should not be in the game. So
Car, we don't blame Joe.
Why we lose then? Somebody tell me other than
Ephraim, to your point, Ephraim.
Why did we lose?
To your point, Ephraim.
Well, I can tell you why we lost too.
Go ahead.
Hardin played terrible. Hold on. You talked, Tim. You talked about this, Toby. Hardin played terrible. Hardin was 0 for 6 from 3. Hardin was turning the ball over. They couldn't get B the ball early into the shot clock. B didn't demand the ball. We don't set good enough screens and picks either to get balls open. B got to set better screens and picks for real. But B should have demanded the ball. And Mark Jackson said something interesting. He posted on his Twitter that he apologized to the Joker for not voting him MVP. He voted Joel Embiid. He said, I apologize to Joker for not voting him MVP.
Because guess what? Joker wasn't making them blocks that Embiid was making that kept us in the game and all that other. Joker ain't doing all that. So, but
he didn't have 51 this steady. He didn't have 51.
He playing against Ayton, who quit. But my point about the whole PJ thing is this. My point about the whole PJ thing. When you have a dude like PJ in the lineup where they have no respect for him, the paint gets clogged. You can't run the pick and roll with B because you got extra bodies in the lane because they're not respecting PJ Tucker.
That's fact.
It's the same thing when Ben Simmons was out there. Remember when we talking about Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons couldn't shoot and they just caved in on the paint and they letting it happen because he not only is he not shooting, not only can he not shoot, he's not even willing to shoot. They look at him like a joke. They playing him like a joke.
And for 20 minutes, you're right. There's another 28 minutes in the game.
It's a lot of knowledge.
28 minutes.
Yeah, because they had to fight out that hole when he started the first part of the game, and they were down 16.
Brooke, AG, you said the refs killed our momentum when they made Maxey shoot those free throws again, like 10 minutes.
That was weird. That was weird.
Yeah, I ain't like that at all.
Thanks
for super chats too.
I never seen that happen like that before. I think at a certain point, if you kind of blow a call and you already played 5 minutes past that call, sometimes you gotta just leave it to what it is. Like to go back and try to recorrect it was kind of strange. I don't think it changed much though. Did it kill our momentum?
Maybe.
It's possible. It's possible, but I think it was more just that we wasn't hitting shots. Like we wasn't hitting shots before that, and we continued not to hit shots after that. I think honestly, Doc should have drew up offense to funnel through Joel Embiid, get PG out the game, put Niang in there. So when you put the ball in B's hands, then B could pass it to a shooter who will legitimately knock down the open shot, which Niang was doing tonight. He actually had a good game. This is why I'm saying that the PJ combination late in the fourth quarter killed us and not funneling the ball through Joel Embiid.
I agree.
Thing that kills
I need Joel to I do need Joel to play better, man. You can't go from, to me, if you're the MVP of the season, right? You go from averaging 34 points a game in the regular season to averaging 24 in the playoffs. That's inexcusable.
Yeah, let's keep it in context.
It's inexcusable.
Let's keep it in context. In the first series,
you can call about the defenses. The coach got to find ways to get this dude the ball.
In the first series, they was
give this dude the ball.
In the first series, they blatantly threw 3 or 4 people around him and dared the Sixers to shoot, and the Sixers shot their lights out. So let's keep it a bean from what the first round was. And in this round, he had the one game where he had the 12, what was it, 16 or whatever in the first game, his first game back, and then he had 30.
Is he averaging 33 this series?
No. He's averaging about 30.
I do got one thing to say. I think the biggest thing that killed us, or one of the biggest things in the fourth quarter, we was up 2, and Hardin missed that big wide open 3-pointer at the top of the key.
Yep.
That, to me, I thought that was like the game, because we would have been up 5 and we'd have been just pretty much playing good defense and just scoring. he missed that shot, and then they came down. And I think that's when Jason Tatum just started going bonkers on us. So
Phil W, let me ask you. Said B go in the post. So suppose he goes into the post, and like when he's tried to go in the post, and then you have Williams and you have Horford both in the post waiting for him. So he just gonna go run through people and get offensive fouls, huh? That's the whole point we're making about PJ being there, and PJ, the floor couldn't be spaced because PJ had no respect. They would have been better off putting Niang in there, even House. House would have shot the three. And then Melton, like, did you see when Melton, he had the thing, he pump faked, the guy flies past him, he steps forward, then steps back and shoot a three. What is this? He playing 2K. Like, nigga, go to the basket.
B's averaging 27 in the series.
I mean,
Okay.
Maxey did miss 2 free throws on Phil W. But he kept us in the game though. We really would have been down by like 20 in the first half if it wasn't for Maxey. Maxey was the only one that showed up the first half.
Yeah, Maxey. I mean, listen, Maxey paid lights out. Did Joel Embiid underperform as regards field goal percentage? Like he was 47%, 26 points. That's not good. Hardin, I agree with Ethan. We definitely talked about Hardin. He didn't have a good game at all.
Right.
To me, Hardin is almost like AD. Like it's like up and down. He gonna have a good game. He gonna have a bad game. Gonna have a good game. You almost accept that with Hardin at this point because
he had that 30-point game on Sunday.
I need that. We all need it on Friday. On Sunday.
Yes.
I don't care about one leg. I don't care. He's playing.
But my thing is, as a coach, you have who you have. We could argue about Hardin. We could argue about Toby. We could argue about PJ. You're not going to take. Oh, so who you going to put in for Hardin? You going to put Shake Milton in for Hardin? Like, I'm just trying to give answers here. You're not trading them. You're not bringing in no free agents right now. So the players that you have to get the most out of the players that you have. You're not going to sit hard on the bench and bring in Melton, who was struggling. You're not going to sit hard on the bench and bring in Shake Milton, who you never know what you're going to get from. So you got Hardin, you got PJ, you got Niang. So if you say I got PJ Niang, who am I going to put in the game? Doc says, well, let's go with PJ. That's a terrible decision. If you got Toby in the game and you say, okay, are we going to go with Toby or are we going to go with Paul Reed? You're going to go with Toby. You're going to go with the more consistent player. You're not going to go with Paul Reed. Option. So this is
House had a horrible time while he was in there today.
He didn't have a horrible game. He played all right. He didn't have a horrible
game. He played okay.
Yeah, he didn't. He had 1 3. That was it.
And he had more points than Toby, didn't he?
Yeah, actually, and he had less minutes. So House might have been a viable option, but this is my thing. I'm trying as a coach, you have to.
House had 3 points. That was his one shot. Yes.
Yeah. How much Toby had?
But no, he didn't have more points than Toby. To your point,
he did have more points than Toby.
No. Okay, so
he did.
To my point, you forgot Toby had 2. Toby had 2 points, bro. But
that's horrible, bro. Oh my god.
My thing is, as a coach, this is you got to manufacture offense through the players that you can count on during that game. If you see somebody struggling at a certain point, and you know you got a better option as to who's been playing well already, go with that player. This is why I'm so frustrated with the PJ thing, and I don't know why y'all not understanding me with this. Niang
I do.
Well, but Niang,
I understand you. I understand.
You can really move on.
See, you know why? Because they don't understand spacing. They don't understand spacing.
Exactly.
They don't understand how important it is for B to be able to work without somebody else jumping on his back. And if somebody else coming to double, you got to open 3. And you notice PJ kept getting the ball. Why? Because his man kept doubling. That's why. Exactly. His man kept coming in the lane. He was open. That's crucial to have somebody in that corner and get that 3.
And PJ would get the ball. And PJ would get the ball, and then he pass it back, burning another 5 seconds because he pump fake like 3 times and act like somebody going to jump to his shot, and then he swing it. Now you got another 3-4 seconds off the shot clock. It was hard. The coaching was horrible this game.
Melton surprised me. He played real bad. Melton surprised me.
Yeah, you made a good point.
Melton
killed all the momentum.
He's the famine. I'm sorry.
Melton killed all the momentum. Like, if someone was about to do something like break it open, he just missed everything. Like, all the shots he took was opportunities. Melton.
Him and Toby.
Jake Martin back.
Melton and Toby killed momentum. Remember, Toby had that fast break, layup, John. It was so many plays that he missed, that both of them missed on, that could have blew the roof off the building. Yeah, that's why Toby irritated me offensively. But I do agree with. I
agree offensively. Yes,
he said defensively he was a menace. He was on Tatum behind.
I think you could have got the same thing
from who?
Same results playing either House on him or putting McDaniels.
You know why I don't agree with that? Because
you
don't
think House couldn't give him 2 points?
Well, you asked why, and I'm about to tell you. Because during this series, if you look at when Toby, they had a thing, and they was talking about when Tobias has guarded Tatum, he's had his worst shooting percentages. Tobias has guarded him. Remember when Ben was playing against we was playing against Toronto, and it was showing how Ben Simmons, when he guarded Kawhi had his worst shooting percentages, and you was like, see, Ben Simmons is the one that plays him defense the worst, the best. Well, it was the same thing with Tobias. When Tobias is on him, that's why they run picks and screens to try to get Tobias off of him and have him matched up against somebody like Maxey. And I shout out to Maxey. Maxey actually played solid defense tonight too. Again,
this is why two-way players. Actually, right now, I'd rather have that dude from Memphis than PJ. This is why two-way players are so crucial to the league, because Toby giving all that effort on defense and couldn't do jack for you on offense. He couldn't even make a layup.
I agree.
He couldn't even he was so gassed and exhausted from giving his all on defense that on offense he couldn't give you jack.
He wasn't even gassed. It was the beginning of the game and he missed the oop. Like, what the heck?
He missed the oop.
Yeah.
He was missing.
Oh my God.
So
I'm not excusing that at all. But if you're telling me which one gave you more,
I'm blowing it up.
If you asking me which one gave you more, PJ gave you absolutely nothing in this game.
J Mar, what up? Shout out to the super chat. Yeah, where you been at? You've been going for a minute.
Yeah, it was good, bro.
Yeah, it's been a good while. Listen. J Carr.
Hope you good, fam.
So
Hey Ed, I hope you do play better on the road. I hope so.
J Carr, you blaming Joel Embiid for the loss? That's what you're saying? You blaming Joel Embiid more than anybody else? I kind of agree with Wayne and Ethan too. I'm blaming Doc because it was certain people he had in certain positions that just wasn't conducive to winning time. But they say that them last couple minutes, that's winning time in the fourth quarter, and you gotta have the best people that will give you the best opportunity to win. And Doc did not have the best lineup in the game. That's all I'm saying. Like, you could tell me whatever lineup you would have rolled out, or you would have tried to do this, you would have tried to do that, but you cannot tell me that who was in that game at that point was the best option to win. You cannot tell me that. And if you come on here trying to tell me that, you capping. Tell me your lineup. Tell me what your lineup is better than that lineup that he had in the game, or tell me you would have stuck with that same lineup. Tell me that and you capping. That's all I'm saying.
Appreciate that, man.
Thank you, man. J Carr. You don't got no comments? You don't want to do
but that nonsense? I blame Doc because first of all, he got outcoached by a rookie coach. In the last couple minutes, I seen no plays ran. You know what was our identity? Last game, you seen how we our identity was we had pace to the game. We set a pace. We slowed it up.
I want to hear from you.
We ran pick and rolls. Did they run one pick and roll with B in Hardin? I don't remember.
No, they did. No, they did. They did.
PJ Man came over and stopped it.
Exactly. And then they swing it to the corner to PJ, and then throw it back to Hardin.
And what did Tobias do? The fake defense? Like PJ?
Why are you caping for PJ so hard? I'm not caping for Tobias.
You know why? He was PJ's biggest fan.
Tobias'
biggest fanboy.
Tobias
the right person
offensively. Tobias stunk offensively. He stunk offensively. PJ gave you absolutely nothing this game, except a 16-point deficit.
Let me ask you.
Remember when PJ first came? When PJ first came, Tim was all on board. He wanted a player like PJ. When you did too, but when PJ first,
I'm still fine with PJ. He just shouldn't be starting.
I'm not.
I did too. I did too. I wanted PJ for his energy, for his defense. I quickly got off the bandwagon when I realized how inept he was offensively. I just don't like.
No,
I don't like a player who.
No, Matt, for better tomorrow. They didn't have a good game, but
no, they didn't. I said that. No,
a lot of it got clogged up because the floor spacing was horrible.
My thing is though, this is when I think about superstars not having a good game. You're always going to have that. Look at any series so far in the playoffs. You had superstars not having even Joker. Joker is much. The past 2 games he had was pretty good. Before that, they leading scorer throughout the bulk of the playoffs been Jamal Murray. So he's been playing solid, but he hasn't been having a dominant game outside of that. Outside of that one that he had.
Joker averaging 30 in the playoffs.
Let me ask y'all this though, right? Because everybody talking about
the first series. I think Joker only led their team in scoring like twice in between the first series and this series until he started scoring the last couple games.
All y'all that's saying that Tobias that what's his name was just off. If you notice in the fourth quarter,
that's not true.
If you notice in the fourth quarter when Tatum started getting off, his first 3 hit was on Embiid, and then it was like against like Maxey. Tobias wasn't on him. Tobias was on him the first 3 quarters. He was not scoring like that. So I get what y'all saying. And Tobias is not no great defender, but against Tatum, Tobias plays solid defense. There's no excuse for him missing layups. There's no excuse for him missing wide open shots. He has to hit those. He has to hit those shots.
Jamal Murray averaged 26 through 10 games in the playoffs, and Joker averaged 30.
Joker just got it because he scored a 51. He scored like 2. He scored 140 and 150-point game. I think it just boosted his stats through the roof.
And Ayton quit. Ayton said he hurt. He said, I'm hurt. I don't want to play. Ayton mad because they told him shut up and rebound.
Right now.
My point is, your stars are going to have their up and down games as well. But it's up to a coach to make. When you get to this level, and both teams is pretty much evenly matched between Boston and Philly, what's going to decide victories is coaching. Coaching decides victories. Just like we everybody praised Darvin Ham for throwing in the bull Lonnie Walker. Mm-hmm. And in that fourth quarter, he blew the game open. They win the game because of that, and they probably going to end up winning the series because of that one game and because of that coaching decision. So coaching is huge in the throes of the game. That's why when your stars are struggling, Hardin struggling. This is nothing new to us that Hardin struggled. This ain't nothing new to us that B was off a little bit. Plus he injured. So it's at a certain point in time, your coach has to make certain position moves and calls to get you these wins, to manufacture some offense, to manufacture a win. And Doc didn't do that today.
That's what I understand, right? You got y'all saying you can't put this on Doc, right? Is Doc's? How don't y'all see that it's Doc's fault that in the last 3 minutes, PJ's jacking threes from the corner when he shouldn't even be in that position? Whose fault is that PJ's in that position?
He only jacked one. And then he got scared and was holding the ball.
Why is he in that position to jack threes?
I agree.
Whose fault is that? It's not his.
It should have been a high hand.
Main money. Put main money and Ample Minds up there. What main money say? 6'5", main money. Good looking in the super chat. 6'5" PJ. 7'2" versus 6. Hold on.
6'9" Robert Williams. 6'10" Al Horford.
Exactly.
Rebounds. I agree.
That's the point me and Ethan is trying to make. I've
been telling y'all PJ's undersized for the rebound. We need a rebound.
He made but against them,
best game last week when he had them 10 boards.
But against them in particular, you got 2 legit dudes who've played center, and you got PJ Tucker down there standing at the 3-point line, won't shoot, and he's supposed to come running in and get a rebound against them. No, it's not going to happen.
So this is crucial because we see the adjustment that Boston coach, I always forget his name. He came out and made
what was the other one? Wasn't another super chat we had?
Oh, huge. Yeah, that was Ample Mind said if we lose game 7, ? I guess you're asking what happens with the team or what happens.
Oh, Doc is going. We lose game 7, Doc is out.
He gotta be.
And Hardin's probably going to leave too.
He got to be, in my opinion. What adjustments is Doc going to make to game 7?
Because he ain't going to bench PJ.
He did. Did you watch the play-by-play?
To start.
Before you, I'm talking about down the stretch. I'm looking at it. PJ enters. PJ would enter. PJ would exit.
It's where
he was substituting Yang, PJ, and Melton. Those 3 was going back and forth.
When Rising started, he was offered.
He didn't play a lot in the fourth quarter.
Halliburton, who's sitting home watching the games.
Y'all so stuck on PJ.
No, because you know why? See, Tim, let me ask you this. All right, let me ask you this. When we went in Boston, what did we do? We jumped out early and we rode out from early because it makes a difference when you get ahead early. The Sixers got dug a big hole because PJ Tucker was useless on offense and because Tobias Harris missed some bunnies. But PJ Tucker was useless.
You're diminishing. It was PJ.
I'm not. You know why I'm not diminishing it? Because Tobias was guarding Tatum and Tatum was bricking. That's why. PJ Tucker did nothing.
Hey, Hardin, but I mean, Jay Carr. Jay Carr, good looking out. Jay Carr said we have the best player in the league, and y'all blaming the role player. Y'all blame Ben now, PJ, Doc. Who next? Listen, whose job is it to get the ball? Whose job is it to draw a player for your best player on the floor? Whose job is that? When you have 4 minutes left and nobody's hitting, whose job is it to make sure your best player on the floor get that ball? Because you know he's not a guard. I always told y'all, I don't think in this era you can win with a big man. I told y'all that before. But the best player in the league is Embiid. Whose job is it to get him that ball?
Well, that big man can win if he ain't got to go against two people because you got two centers playing in the lane waiting for him to go in there.
Hey, Ethan,
and the other guy that's playing power forward can't even run over and get a rebound.
Ethan, by the way,
they asked Doc in the press conference. He said that we didn't trust each other down the stretch.
I wouldn't trust PJ either. And they did trust PJ. That was the problem. They threw him the freaking ball.
Here's the thing. You're making it up because PJ wasn't even there the whole fourth quarter. He played sparingly. He put him in for like a minute here, a minute there.
Then PJ came back in and we lost.
Play down the stretch like that. It was Niang was in the game. Melt was in the game.
Yeah, we were going. And you know why?
Fourth quarter.
You know why?
Rewatch that fourth quarter.
I am going to rewatch it. And guess what? In the fourth quarter, we came back and took the lead. Or at least tied it up, and then PJ came back in, and everything went to hell in the hand.
And that's a lie.
I still believe B should have had his 33. Should have had his average, but that's.
Hey, Ethan, by the way, out of the first 4 games.
Why are you looking at Joker them stats? Come on, man.
Nope. Out of the first 4 games, you tried to tell me I was wrong, and I told you out of the first 4 games, Jamal Murray led scoring 3 out of the first 4 games over Joker. And in the first 4, and that was in the Minnesota series, and then in the first 4 games in this series, they 2-2. So I said the bull Jamal Murray's been hooping. Everybody's been having. Joker had a game. I think he had 10 points in the Minnesota series. Now they won, but my thing is, you understand your stars are going to have bad games. It happens to everybody, from LeBron to Giannis to Curry to KD to Booker.
Harden.
I think to Hardin, to Joel, and they're going to have games where they're not the best versions of themselves, and that's when you need the coach to make either crucial decisions on getting them the ball, putting them in the best position to score, or getting a good role player in there to pick up the slack. This is all I'm saying. We've seen it already.
New sniper, I agree. We shot a whole bunch of unnecessary threes. I agree.
And whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
I agree.
Somebody say it. Somebody in the chat. Whose fault is that? That was up 4 and was jacking threes.
How much money Hardin had on the game, to be honest?
Hardin about to drop 35. We win in game 7.
I think he will. I think
we're not winning game 7.
I'm just nervous. Right. Scott Foster better not be doing this game.
Make sure y'all here for the last send-off Sixers podcast of the season on Sunday.
Hardin 35, B 33, game 7.
No, we're not getting blown out. We definitely not getting blown out game 7. We're gonna come in there.
We just rocked them on a court.
Y'all getting scared now. Listen.
Boston took everything in a soul to come in and win this game. That was a must-win.
Hardin not gonna get them calls. I told you, Hardin not gonna get them calls in the playoffs.
We literally took this game and handed it to Boston on the silver platter.
Yep.
If y'all think we gonna go in there and get routed on Sunday, y'all crazy. We gonna go in there. I'm not even saying we gonna win. But that game is going to be a battle. We're not going to get.
It's going to be another battle.
We're going to have a monster game. And I think we win that game late in the
game.
We going to beat them 3 times. It don't matter.
Tim, wait, you know why, Tim? Do you know what Boston record is at home in the playoffs?
No.
500. Boston loses half of their games at home this playoffs.
I'm telling y'all right now.
You're not listening. I said, you know how hard.
You're not listening. You say how we going to beat them 3 times at home? Because they lose at home.
Once again. You're not listening. I said, do you know how hard it is to beat a team 3 times in a row?
It's not as hard when a team loses 50% of its games at home.
Well, what you mean 3 times in a row?
Because that would have been our 3rd straight game that we was trying to win, but I can't make my point because Wayne won't let me.
Okay, yeah, no.
If you're still scared,
Hold on. Let me play the father role. Wayne, let Tim make his point. Go ahead, Tim.
I'm sorry, you're right.
It's difficult to beat a playoff team 3 straight games. So to lose this game is not something that's out of the ordinary. But we still can go to Boston. I do believe that we can get that game, that third game. But that's not the point that I'm making. You're making a whole different other point.
You know, Boston is 500. Boston is 500 at home this playoff.
That's fine. I agree with you. I said to beat them games in a row is going to be difficult.
This the thing, but this the other thing. This the other thing that gets me though, right? Boston was up 16 and collapsed to the point that we almost came back and won this game. When we had the lead on them, we put our foot on their throat. So, I'm not saying listen, I'm saying we're gonna win. I don't know for sure. It's gonna be a knock 'em down game, in my opinion. But that being said, I'm not afraid. I'm not feeling like, oh, we going to Boston. There's no way we can win in Boston.
Y'all got me up way later than I should be. I should have been in bed an hour ago. I got to get up 4:00 in the morning. But let me say this before I bounce. Tim actually made a good point about that third straight game. We already seen that already with Golden State when they tried to win 3 straight against Sacramento. They lost at home on that third game. That third game is hard. This is why I think Golden State is done against the Lakers, barring any kind of miracle. Even if they go back home, even if they beat LA tomorrow, to go back home and even try to win that game back home with 3 straight games is very, very hard. I agree with you.
That was my
But
point.
Doc has to make adjustments.
So all that being said, though, we had them by the throat, and we
let them off the hook.
Yes.
We don't got a sniper. We missing that.
That's what Maxi's supposed to
be. We were
do.
still the best 3-point shooting team in the NBA.
We were.
Why don't Maxi go to the wing? Why don't they have Maxi instead of Maxi shooting that step back a lot? I mean, he hits it. Just get some good, clean, open looks for him.
You know why? Because if they got that's the whole problem. I agree with you, Ethan. But the problem is because when PJ's in the game, all PJ can do is stand in the corner and shoot the 3 or run in and throw his body at people trying to get rebounds. And
I don't like our offense at all.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We're gonna wrap this thing up.
Everybody's scared. The series ain't over, man.
We winning game 7. Stop being chumps. God dang. Listen, if y'all would have went and listened to Boston's podcast, Boston after the game in the last game, and they was ripping Boston, and the Sixers fans was up there singing the Sixers song and everything else. That's what happens, bro. Like game 7, line it up.
I'm telling y'all like this. And I said this before in the last podcast. Brown and Tatum don't like playing in Boston. They don't. I'm not talking about don't like the arena or nothing. They don't like the fans. They don't like the atmosphere.
Tatum like him. He fits.
They don't like him either. Tatum or Brown do not like the energy from Boston. That's why they play so bad in Boston. I'm telling you, we going in Boston and we gonna win. I'm telling you now.
All right,
Phoenix
now.
Listen, Charlie. Hey, Charlie, I listened too. Wasn't it entertaining? I loved it.
Phoenix down 18 right now,
and Kevin Durant got 4 points.
I will tell y'all this. I will tell y'all this. If we lose to Boston, I'm not having no Boston fans in here. Just because y'all wasn't here the last 2 games when we won, y'all not gonna come here on a game 7 if we lose, and y'all not gonna antagonize my fans.
Unless y'all putting something in the super chat.
AD is 1 for 9.
All right, like, comment, subscribe, hit the
right
notification bell, y'all.
Hit that like button.
Hit that like button. This is a like button. Hit it. We got like 186 people here.
Ain't it funny? Ain't it funny how many we get in here and likes and stuff we get when the Sixers lose? It's real funny. Remember that other game we lost? We had like 3,000 views, almost 4,000 views because the Sixers lost. Everybody wanted to come in. Okay.
All right, y'all. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, we talked about that. Colt Williams. Go back and listen. We talked about